All right, here at Ferrum College, slept in this barn last night. Gonna play this Cabin Creek. Having music pumped into your ears and being around it for so long, and that's like on the trip, the only focus was to ride 40 to 80 miles a day, eat food, sleep, and in between there play music, or interview musicians, or film music being performed. It's kind of like an immersion program. If you really want to learn Spanish, you go to a Spanish-speaking country for a month and a half, and you're going to learn Spanish.
So we continued on the crooked road to Floyd, Virginia. And so to get there, we had to ride up a road called the 5 Mile Mountain. And for over 5 miles, we climbed up the valley, all the way up to the crest of the Blue Ridge Mountains on our way to Floyd. So we wanted to go to Floyd because it's a big music town, and every Friday they have a jam in the street downtown, and there's a big show there at the Floyd Country Store every Friday night. And we bumped into a bunch of people from town and got into a pretty good jam session, so that panned out for us. And we also wanted to drop by a visit with our friend joebass DeJarnette, who lives there in a house that he's turned into a recording studio that he calls Studio 808A. And all sorts of bluegrass musicians and old-time musicians and musicians of all types come from all over the place to record with him, and I've actually even had the pleasure of doing a record there with him myself.
I think one of the things that set me off on the path of traditional music was my father gave me a wind-up Victrola, much like the ones you see behind me here. There's one in every room in the house now. I befriended an old guy up in the mountains, Elmer Adkins. Elmer 66. It was a gas station and then a junk store in the back. And I would just beg my parents to go to Aunt Margaret's house so that I could go see Elmer. And Elmer and I were buds. He would sell me 78s for 10 cents a piece, even though they were $1 for any adults. When I was a teenager, I realized that I was super uncoordinated and socially awkward, and I realized sports was not going to be the way for me to like connect with my peers and meet girls and things like that. And so it's like, oh, that music thing, better get back to that. So let's see. So my band director in high school, we all cut school, and they took me over to James Madison and introduced me to the bass teacher, Sam Cross. And he goes, look, what I want you to do is find a bass, rent a bass, do whatever, come to my house this summer. If you're good, I'll give you lessons for free and I'll get you in the music department here at the university. Cool. If you suck, I'll tell you that you suck and I won't waste your time or mine.
Yeah. Perfect.
Fair enough.
Perfect setup, yeah.
I rented a bass and I show up at Sam's house, and Sam's an old bachelor and he's got these huge German Shepherds, and and I walk in there, I'm trying to play a scale, and I'm nervous, man. I'm like, I'm 17, and this guy is kind of giving me the, like, if you're good, but if so I'm like, I'm kind of freaking out. And he starts yelling at me. He's like, no, play like a dog. And I'm like, ah, and then he calmed down. He said, look, you have a dog, you have a Frisbee. Is the dog calculating Newton's laws of gravity? Is the dog thinking about all the physics equations of how many steps and how far in the air? It's like, no, it feels natural. Like the dog is born to catch that Frisbee. He was always telling me to get in touch with my inner hillbilly and to play like a dog.